host, Cameron Traceball, and this is my co-host,
Hunter Schrader.
If you are new to this show, this is a sports podcast. Hunter and I pretty much go through the hottest topics every single week. We get in some hot debates and this and that. We cover the NBA, the NHL, the NFL. We talk about golf a little bit, WrestleMania, WWE, UFC, pretty much a whole variety of different sports. But as of right now, into this episode, the NBA, the NHL, playoffs are the mainstream right now. It really is what's the biggest thing going on in sports. And Hunter, man, what a series it has been. What a first round has come to a close. The second round is finally here. Before we jump into our second round matchups, the closeout. Game 7, the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Orlando Magic. Thrilling series overall. I did not expect it to go 7, though. I expected it to be done in 6 at the latest. At the most, it'd be done in 6 by Cleveland. No team in this entire series won on the road. Neither Orlando or Cleveland could win on the road. So, Overall, you're a Cavs fan. This is Cavs Nation. What do you have to say for this team and for that series overall?
Well, roller coaster, right? Roller coaster. A lot of bipolar issues for me, especially. I think when you look at Cleveland, it's about as far as 45 will take us. That's where I'm at right now. Darius Garland has been a disappointment. Max Strus and LeVert show up when they want to. They don't show up consistently. Evan Mobley, everyone's complaining he's not scoring the ball enough. I think that's absolute crap because Mobley now has to be the only big man on the floor. Mobley is going to get double teamed in the paint. He's not going to shoot as much. He's there to defend, and he's there to rebound, and he's done that ever since Allen went down. So I will give props to Mitchell. I will give props to Mobley. I will not give props to the rest of the team. They have been up and down, left and right, can't make shots. Donovan Mitchell dropped 60 in Game 6, and nobody else does anything. So if I'm the GM of the Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm telling Max Strus, Niang, and Garland, you're either going to restructure your contract or you're going to go. You're out. We're not paying you to do this.
Looking at this series to start off with, I think Cleveland was heavily favored, and I know Orlando, battled their way back. Obviously, I thought the lack of experience would get the best of them, and it did at the end. At the end of the second half of that game, Game 7, it really got the best of them. But really, Orlando, what a good seeded team they were. I did not think they were as good as what they showed in the playoffs, and this team in the future is really going to be bright. Paulo Banchero, he's a dog, man. That guy's a dog. I mean, he really just kept fighting the whole way. And this team, Jalen Suggs, Wagner, really this team just together, young core, and good for Orlando and what there is. For Cleveland, disappointing. Game 1 and Game 2, really, because here's how I'm going to break it down. Game 1 and Game 2, right? They were the best team in that series. You could see it. They dominated. They showed up and they played ball. It's like they go to Orlando and it's like basketball just doesn't exist to them.
Yeah, they forgot who they were.
Like basketball just doesn't exist for them.
Yeah.
And it was sad. I was like, okay, here we go, right? 1 and 2, they're going this thing in 5.
Yeah.
3 and 4, basketball doesn't exist. Come back to Cleveland, they play great. Donovan Mitchell played great in Game 6 and 7 too.
Yeah.
So he played great in 6. Garland played pretty good in 6, but Garland should not be the highest paid player on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell should easily be the highest paid.
Well, the reason
Garland needs to restructure. Too many turnovers and too inconsistent for me. Strus is supposed to be that, he's supposed to be that J.J. Redick, right? He's supposed to be J.J. Redick.
Knock shots in big moments, and he's been nothing like it.
In Game 7, he hit a couple, but that was really the entire series we've seen.
Yeah.
Niang hasn't done anything at all.
LeVert.
Evan Mobley needs more money. Evan Mobley been doing it a bunch without Jared Allen. Overall, Cleveland, they had to win this. I think it was a must win, or they were gonna rip the roster.
Yeah,
completely. And I think it'd probably been, honestly, Donovan Mitchell probably would have wanted out if you didn't win that series.
Well,
so going on to, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. The only thing I'm gonna say regarding Garland and Allen and everybody getting paid like Strus and Yang, they need to restructure. You ain't them guys. You ain't worth the contract you're getting paid. It's proven to me. Darius Garland, like you said, turnovers, he plays out of control. That's my big thing with him. If he would just slow down and just control the game, you don't have to rush to do something crazy, man. Just make the good play. Make the right play. Make the right decision. He doesn't know how to do that. And I agree, he's still young. Like, everyone's like, he's young. I get it. But this is year 2 in the playoffs, man. He did better last year in the playoffs. He did better
I agree with that.
Against the better team. In the Knicks, he did so much better. And now, like, this year, he's just been rocky all year. I don't get it. I hope it's a bad year, and it's just a bad season for him, and he gets better, and he matures and grows. But still, man, you're not worth that money. Donovan Mitchell is the only one, along with Mobley, that deserve big-time deals for us. And one more thing, I'm going to congratulate the Magic as well. They proved a lot to me. That team is nasty. Paulo Banchero is a good basketball player. There's no doubt about it. That kid's ceiling is really high, and they have a bright future in Orlando. So I will give props to the Magic. I will not trash talk them at all. They did really good. They surprised a lot of people, including me. But, yeah, man, Cleveland needs shooters. I mean, we're like 2 or 3 players away, but we got to restructure some people because they're not worth it.
I absolutely agree. So, really, that was the last game of the first round, and now we're going to the second round. Man, this is it. I tell you what, some teams we didn't think were going to be here, aka Indiana. Didn't think nobody thought Indiana would be here. Really, I mean, we thought there would be a chance, but we thought if Giannis came back early on in the series, it could possibly get flipped the other way.
Well, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked that Indiana made it because the Bucks, Dame went down in game, what was it, 4 or 3 or 4? I don't remember. And Giannis didn't play the whole series. And to me, if I'm the Bucks, Giannis has got to take a pay cut.
Giannis didn't play at all.
Yeah,
he didn't play at all.
Yeah. Giannis is getting paid way too much money not to play. It's like Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers.
Yeah, no, but that's a little bit different situation because Giannis has been in the playoffs normally and he's played in every playoff. This is the first time he was. This is real. Okay, this is. I think you might agree with me here because hold on, just listen. This is a Doc Rivers and this is a Bucks organization problem. They let go of Drew Holiday.
Yeah, Doc Rivers. I told you that was a bad hire when they hired him. That was a bad hire.
Because I would agree with you up to the point to where on that statement at the end of the season this year, right? All the reports came out was Giannis not only is he got hurt, but he is completely gassed from having to try to defend because this organization lacked giving him bench. They were one of the worst defensive teams in the league. They gave up a whole bunch for Damian Lillard, and that has done them no good because they're going home. And Doc Rivers, they hired Doc Rivers, and to be honest with you, I don't think they got much better from where they started.
There was nothing wrong with Milwaukee's former head coach. He was not the problem.
No. I don't completely blame Giannis.
No, I'm not blaming Giannis at all. I mean, I'm just saying Giannis was hurt, and that's why I'm not surprised that Indiana made it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but
the best defender on the Bucks wasn't even on the court. He wasn't even in the series, so I'm not shocked. Milwaukee was dumb by bringing in Doc Rivers. I did not like that at all. I thought that was a stupid decision. You chose a coach who has proven he can't win and in playoffs and with stacked super teams. So why are you doing it? Why was this hire needed? You didn't need him. They got worse too with Doc Rivers.
Oh yeah, they did.
They did. Got way worse.
Now, talk about the Bucks. Really, I thought they started out well. I can't remember the coach's name. That they
I can't either. It's some weird name.
But either way, he started well. I didn't think they started that bad.
No.
But they gave up. Giving up Drew Holiday. Really, I think kind of dissembled their team. Not only that, losing Grayson Allen in the offseason to Phoenix, that wasn't a good move.
No.
They needed more bench. They needed more defense, and honestly. The amount of offense and the way they played in the regular season, it caught up to him. It really just caught up to him. And it hurt Giannis. That's what happened. Giannis got hurt because guess what? they were playing at 110% all regular season until, he got gassed out and it was
Yeah.
over. So Milwaukee deserved to get home.
The X factor in that series, and I'm going to say this because I've liked this guy for years, is McConnell from Indiana, that backup point guard. That guy was the unsung hero of this series. He led that second unit, and he led by example. He made some crazy shots, made some crazy plays. That kid is good.
Now, another series, moving on from Milwaukee, congratulations to Indiana. Moving on to the next round, Indiana. It's going to be a well-fought series with the Knicks, and we'll talk about that later. What about the Knicks and the 76ers? Now, I'm not really concerned with the Knicks because we'll talk about the Knicks later. But the 76ers is where I want to get into, right? I mean, you got Tyrese Maxey, who was the most improved player. Joel Embiid coming off injury.
I'm not blaming Maxey for this. Maxey did good. Like, Tyrone Maxey is a dude. Like, I will not say anything bad about him.
Okay, and then Joel Embiid came back from injury, and he actually played pretty well in the playoffs.
No, Embiid did good.
They have a pretty decent bench as far as I'm concerned. There's only one player in my mind, they screwed up years ago, and it has continued to haunt them since. And his name is Tobias Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at it now, Jimmy Butler was in Philadelphia in 2019 against the Toronto Raptors. They played Toronto. Kawhi that amazing, 3-point shot from the corner, right? That magically rolled in. They ended their series. So they had Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, Jimmy Butler. That was really the main four.
Yeah.
They didn't have enough money to pay Tobias Harris and Jimmy Butler. So what do? They chose Tobias Harris. Jimmy Butler went to Miami and has been to the finals twice. Not only that, he's been to the conference finals multiple times. At least three or four times.
Yeah.
What? This organization looks really stupid because if they would have just unloaded Tobias Harris and kept Jimmy Butler, they probably won a championship by now. It'd have been done. They'd have won a championship, at least one by now. Because I hate to say it, Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, Joel Embiid, right? This is way before Tyrese Maxey. So you have those three guys, they're winning at least one championship together after Kawhi leaves. I think it's the same year after Kawhi leaves and goes to LA, goes to the Clippers. That following year where Giannis won it, I think that's the year where the 76ers win it.
Just laugh. I mean, how does this GM still have a job? That's my question. That's why I laugh, because
I like Daryl Morey, but I just don't know why keeping. It wasn't Daryl Morey's decision. It wasn't Daryl Morey's to keep Tobias Harris. It wasn't his decision to keep him.
But still,
they fired him afterward.
Whoever's decision it was to keep Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler needs fired.
Easily.
Just get up and walk away, because I would take Jimmy Butler. I would take a one-legged Jimmy Butler. One leg, one eye, he could look like a hobbled pirate. I don't care. I'm still taking Jimmy Butler before I think about it.
Bro, you know how many times Joel Embiid has talked so well about Jimmy Butler?
Yeah.
Like how much he's talked about, how much he loves Jimmy Butler. Are they blind? Okay, you think about this. And they also had J.J. Redick. At that time. Yeah. They still would have had J.J. Redick. If they would have just shipped Tobias Harris off and kept J.J. Redick and Jimmy Butler, along with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid and the team they already had.
That team's winning the ring.
I'm telling you, they'd have won. They'd have won the finals by now. The 76ers would have won.
I just still can't comprehend it. It's been 4 or 5 years since then, and yet
it's been 5 years.
It still gets
since
brought
that team was
up.
together.
It still gets brought up, and I laugh so hard because I'm just like, why is this even a thing? What is wrong with you?
If I'm correct,
Tobias Harris didn't do anything in Game 7 or Game 6 elimination game, whatever it was. He didn't do anything. He shot
he had 0 points. He only shot 2 field goals the whole game. He shot 2 field goals. So imagine that, ladies and gentlemen. Your possible closeout game, you're only shooting 2 field goals, and you're getting paid probably over $100 million.
He's a scrub. He's never paid scrub. Hey,
I'm pretty sure. Okay, I'm pretty sure. Honestly, just give me 1 second, because if I'm positive, he averaged 9 points for the entire series. The entire series. Yeah. So this year he averaged in the postseason. Sorry, just getting there real quick. Okay, in the postseason this year he averaged 9 points. He had 1.5 assists, and he averaged 7 rebounds. If I'm pretty sure, he only scored 54 points for the entire series alone.
Okay.
54 points. He had 9 assists and 43 rebounds for the entire series versus the New York Knicks. And he only shot 4 free throws.
Okay. I have one statement to say about this. He's the GOAT, bro. He's the GOAT, man. 100 million right there. That's what 100 million buys you, Cam. 54 points in 6 games.
Sorry, I'm looking up something.
0 for 2. 0 for 2.
Okay.
0.
All right. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, here's what we're talking about right here. And I want to read this because this is important, right? So right what I just read, right what we just talked about, right? We talked about Tobias Harris got 9 points in this series. Tobias Harris he averaged 7 rebounds and 1 assist. 54 total points for the entire series. So back in February of 2019, when Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris were looking for a contract, Harris was signed for a max contract of 5 years, $180 million. He was on his 5th year this year. You signed him for $180 million, and you have done jack squat with nothing. He's done nothing for the organization whatsoever. I don't even know if Jimmy Butler is making that amount of money in Miami. Like, I don't even know if he is or not. But you could have paid that money to Jimmy Butler. You could have paid that to Jimmy Butler. You could have got JJ Redick back with that amount of money. But no. We'll just get the combined of both. We'll get Tobias Harris.
Hey, Philly might be able to right the wrong, though, because Pat Riley and Jimmy Butler ain't getting along right now, and Jimmy Butler's a free agent. Jimmy B's out. If he don't get a contract extension, Jimmy B's out of Miami.
Or
so
here's the thing though. I trust Pat Riley in making the right decisions.
No, he's stingy. He don't pay, bud.
I think they have enough pieces to move somebody and keep Jimmy Butler if they wanted to.
They need a point guard because Tyler Hero ain't it.
But I don't see Jimmy Butler going back to Philadelphia. There's no way. Especially with now Maxi's going to want a contract.
I'm saying it could happen. I'm not saying it's happening, but it could.
I know it could, but I think it's rare. I think it'd be rare because I don't think I think he was still mad about the whole situation years later that he never got to stay.
I think the more realistic thing is Embiid asked for a trade because I think I can see Joel Embiid asking for a trade and him wanting to go to Miami.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that the Philadelphia 76ers are going to want a haul. They're going to want like tons of draft picks and honestly, I'd say probably they're going to want 2 or 3 first-round picks along with Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. There's no doubt they're going to want at least those 2 guys with multiple draft picks for Joel Embiid.
Yeah, we'll see.
So we'll see about that. Anyway, jumping off that train, now we're into the second round, right? Because now we can get off the first round.
Hey, let's talk about the second round. Woo!
All right, Knicks, Pacers, Timberwolves, Nuggets, Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Mavericks, and the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Boston Celtics. That is our second round matchup, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go.
We don't have to talk about Boston and Cleveland. We don't have to talk about that. We can move on.
We'll get to them here in a minute. We got to get to them here in a minute.
I'd rather not.
All right, Pacers and Knicks were the first ones to set it off for the second round.
No, it was the Wolves and Nuggets. They played before.
Okay, I apologize. Okay, I apologize. Anthony Edwards, Nikola Jokic. We both picked last week the Timberwolves.
Timberwolves in 6, baby. Looking like a sweep.
So I want you to go first. You break your analogy of this series down. What does it look like?
Well, I mean, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm not going to go into. You're more analytic and all that stuff. Me, I just shoot straight. And I got one name to say, and then this is it. Anthony Edwards is that man. Plain and simple. No need to talk about it. 43 points in the game 1 on the road against the Nuggets. And it comes down to this. And this is why the Timberwolves are up 2-0 right now. It ain't just because of Edwards. It ain't just because of Cat. It ain't just because of Gobert. The Denver Nuggets ain't as deep as they were last year, and the Timberwolves are deep. That's what it boils down to. That's why Denver is not as dominant. Denver don't got the reserves that they need. They are not that deep.
So, for me, looking at this series, it gets a little tricky because
What do you mean tricky?
here's why. Here's why I break it down. Well, Anthony Edwards and Cat, I'll give Karl-Anthony Towns. He played pretty good the other night without Rudy Gobert. I thought Karl-Anthony Towns played good.
He's been playing good the whole playoffs.
So okay, you're right. Minnesota Nuggets have no bench, right? Bench is non-existent, not last year. We got to give Reed and we got to give Alexander Walker a lot of credit for
Playing good.
But I'll tell you the one thing. So here's the one thing that's surprising me the most. Minnesota's defense.
I'm impressed.
They are playing like old school basketball defense. Like they're shutting people down. They're shutting this team down. And the confidence of Anthony Edwards just thrives through that team, right? It thrives through Karl-Anthony Towns. It thrives through Reed. It thrives through Alexander Walker. It thrives through Mike Conley. It's thrive in Jaden Daniels. Even without, think about it, without the Defensive Player of the Year, you are shutting this team down.
Yeah.
You are and guess what? They're not shutting Jokic down.
No.
They're shutting Jamal Murray down. The guy who sent the Lakers packing to Cancun went with him. He went with him to Cancun because he's about as non-existent in this series as it gets.
He's playing hurt.
Huh?
Murray's hurt.
Is he?
He's got his hamstring's not 100%. Yeah, they talked about it. Yeah, Murray's injured.
But
he's not 100.
But I'm telling you, I don't think he was 100 in the Lakers series, and he's still balled.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. That's how bad the Lakers are compared to the Timberwolves.
But I mean, Minnesota is just physically outplaying this team. I mean, they're bullying Jokic. I hate to say it, Jokic is getting a little bit bullied around in there. I mean, we look at last game 2, right? We're already into game 2. Aaron Gordon had the most points. Aaron Gordon had 20 points. Michael Porter had 9. He was 1 of 7 from 3. Jokic had 16 points and 16 rebounds. Jamal Murray had 13 rebounds and 8 points. So yeah, they're getting the rebounds.
Yeah.
But they are shooting 30% from 3 compared to 39% from Minnesota. You got Anthony Edwards, 17 shots, hitting 11 of those shots. Karl-Anthony Towns, 15 shots, hitting 10, 27 points. And he's also got 12 rebounds while doing all that. Ladies and gentlemen, Minnesota Timberwolves are going to sweep the Denver Nuggets.
Hey, man, I was joking when I said sweep, all right? I'm not going to
I think they're going to sweep Denver Nuggets.
Nah. Hold on. I ain't going that far.
And they're going to win the conference finals.
They're going to the NBA Finals. I'm already.
And they're going to win the NBA Finals. Give me the Minnesota Timberwolves. Give me Anthony Edwards. Give me the second coming of Kobe Bryant. Give me the second coming of Kobe Bryant. And now here's why I'm going to state with that, because I was telling you earlier, right? I get it. Kobe, Jordan, Karl-Anthony Towns, right? Games are all the same, right? They all play similar in ways. There only ever will be one Michael.
Well, yeah.
There will never be another Jordan.
No, I'm not saying that.
He dunks like Jordan. He shoots like Jordan. Kobe's the closest thing to Jordan. There is only one Michael, and there will only ever be one Michael. There'll never be another player in the NBA greater than Michael Jordan in our lifetime. In our lifetime, I don't care. Michael Jordan will be the greatest player to ever live.
Well, yeah.
If this cat goes out here and wins this year, is he starting his? Is he gonna start making his mark? Yeah. Do I love the confidence he brings, the swag? The way he talks, right? The way he talks about the game, the way his confidence level. I mean, it's honestly great to have that, because it's like having Kobe, right? It's like having Jordan, because we haven't seen that in a while. But this cat has to prove it, and I think Rudy Gobert coming back with the bench they have, with the way he plays, and Karl-Anthony Towns, and Mike Conley, I'll give it to him, and Jaden Daniels, Reed and Alexander Walker. There isn't a team in the NBA that can stop them.
I am not saying they're going to win, because I don't know who they'll play in the East. but I definitely have this team going to the finals. I definitely think they're going to NBA Finals. What?
They're playing Boston. They're playing Boston, bro.
Oh, I'm not saying we're beating Boston. I ain't saying that, but I think Indiana's going to give Boston a run for their money.
I think they'll give a run for their money, but I think Porzingis will be healthy by the time they see them.
Maybe. Well, that's the thing.
And we don't even know if they're going to get by New York right now with how Jalen Brunson looks. And Dante DiVincenzo. Josh Hart makes that series, by the way, which is incredible.
I'm not going to lie. If I don't see the Knicks beating Boston without a big man.
No, I don't think that's why I'm saying that even if the Knicks if the Knicks gets by, right, they get to the conference finals, they're going to lose. But
yeah,
I think the Knicks can beat the Pacers. I just don't think the Knicks can beat. I don't think anybody can beat Boston. And I think Cleveland had the best potential, but Jared Allen's got to be healthy, and Darius Garland cannot turn the ball over, and Max Strus has to hit 3-point shots. There's just things that have to happen.
No, Max Strus ain't hitting nothing. He's bricking.
But there's things that just have to happen. You know what I mean? But if they do happen, Cleveland can draw this thing 6 or 7. But they need Jared Allen. You need Jared Allen on the floor, no matter what. You need him on the floor. His presence alone does difference for them.
I'm hoping we get him Thursday for game 2, but I don't know.
For me, just looking at Minnesota, looking how they are and the way they played, I knew that I thought this team was decent.
Yeah.
And I was surprised with this year, but I didn't think. And I thought this series right when I picked the Minnesota Timberwolves to win. That Denver gave a run for their money. I didn't think Denver was going to get shut out. I mean, they got shut out in Game 1 and Game 2.
I'm not counting out. I'm not saying Denver's going to get swept. That was a joke. But if they do, I won't be surprised. But
here's
I definitely have the T-Wolves going to the NBA Finals. I don't think there's a team in the West that can, pound for pound, match up with them.
No. Here's why I said that, though. Because if we played in Minnesota the first 2 games, right?
Yeah.
I would have got it, right? I think in Game 3, Denver on their floor, right, could win the game. No, they got their ass kicked on their home floor.
Oh, dude, it was embarrassing.
In front of all their fans.
Game 2 was worse than Game 1.
You think you're going to a hostile environment in Minnesota?
Defending champ.
Yeah.
They're defending champ. And you go into Game 2,
defending
champ. They embarrassed them in Game 2. It wasn't even close. It was bad.
I don't think, Minnesota going home, right?
Yeah.
They're going to just light it up in front of their fans.
Yeah.
And I think Anthony Edwards just plays at a higher level in front of Minnesota fans.
Yeah.
It's clear. So that's my take on that one. It's either 4 or 5, but I think for me it's 4, for you it's 5. But either way, Denver's going home, man. They're going home.
Denver's not winning. You can't afford to go down 2-0 against Minnesota and then head back to Minnesota. You can't afford that.
Knicks and Pacers. So talking about this series, right? Just quick, because we talked about it a little bit. Pacers could win. Pacers, Halliburton has got to play better. This guy has got to play better. They play in Game 1, 121-117. Miles Turner had 23 points. Siakam had 19. Halliburton had 6 points. He only took 5 shots. And he was 2 of 5 from 3-point range. He took 6 shots, but he was only 2 of 5 from 3-point range. All of them were pretty much threes. Obi Toppin had 12 off the bench, and McConnell had 18. So
Toppin's kind of like an unsung hero for the Pacers. He's done really well.
Kind of weird because he played for the Knicks, right?
Yeah, it's funny.
But like me and you talked about, right? Nesmith can play good. Siakam can play good. Miles Turner can play good. Connell. Halliburton has got to play good. He has got to at least make 15 points a game.
Well, he's like Darius Garland, man. You know what I mean? Like he's got to step up.
But he's never been the same since his injury, which is just, it's horrible. And think about it. So then you go on the other side, right? And remind you that the Knicks only had 3 guys come off the bench.
Yeah.
Everybody else played. Anobi had 13. Hartstein, who's filling in for Mitchell Robinson, had 13. Jalen Brunson had 43. Josh Hart had 24. And Dante DiVincenzo had 25.
They're playing together as a team, dude. Everyone's showing up.
Josh Hart has been like, okay, we were talking about, big guys, right? I'm always concerned with the Knicks, right, since Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle not being there, and Hartstein, which I don't really, it is what it is, but I think for Josh Hart to be a guard, really. The dude's
Yeah.
getting over 10 rebounds a game, normally having a double-double almost every single game. That's insane to me.
As a guard.
As a guard to be
Yeah.
getting over 10 rebounds a game while also getting over 10 to 15 points at the same time. Josh Hart he's been balling for this team. Dante,
Yeah.
Dante was a huge piece that came in. Love that addition. Jalen Brunson, I mean, it really comes down to a conversation right now in this playoffs as
They're
of today.
all Villanova boys, dude.
But who's been more fun to watch? I mean, who's been more fun to watch, right? Anthony Edwards or Jalen Brunson? I mean, it comes down to both get fun.
Oh, there's the question. I knew you would mention this sooner or later, you Jalen Brunson lover.
No.
Y'all
I'm saying. But it is cool, though. It is cool in the Western Conference. It's Anthony Edwards. In the Eastern Conference, it's Jalen Brunson. That is really shining and scoring tons of points. Both are shining.
Yeah.
But one has pretty much no big guys on his team at all. Like Jalen's got no. I mean, they're versing Miles Turner, Siakam, Obi Toppin.
That's why it's embarrassing that Josh Hart is getting 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying.
Ridiculous.
You got what? Naismith, Siakam, Miles Turner, Obi Toppin, and Josh Hart's getting 13 rebounds in a game.
Shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. Well, that just goes to show you
Shouldn't
that
happen at all.
Well, that just goes to show you how bad the game is now because no one boxes out. They just tip it out or try to.
By the way, I'll give you this little count, right? Siakam only had 6. Naismith had 6. Miles Turner had 2. Halliburton had 2. And Nembhard had 2. And Obi Toppin had 6. So Josh Hart had more than Siakam and Naismith combined.
That's sad. That's pathetic. That's just pathetic.
And Nobi had 9. Jalen Brunson had 6. I mean, as many as
Jalen Brunson's getting more boards than freaking the big men. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. How does that happen?
That's what we're talking. Okay, so that's what we were talking about at the beginning of this series, right? The big men were going to take advantage.
How are you a head coach in the NBA and your bigs are getting out rebounded by guards? That's embarrassing. That's just embarrassing.
I think this is a 6 or 7 game series.
I agree.
Around. I think it's 6 or 7 game
I think it'll be a lengthy
series. It's going the wire.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting stat for that series. Cleveland and Boston. The third game of the series. The third game for the second round. We obviously already talked about Cleveland. Now time to talk about Boston. No Porzingis. Score 120-95 for game 1. It looked good early on. Donovan Mitchell still giving it all, 33 points. Strus, 5 points. Garland had 14. Okoro had 11, and Mobley had 17. Jason Tatum only had 18, 32 from Brown. Now here's the thing, right?
Mitchell outscored everybody.
Right, but here's what gets at me a little bit. Who's Darius Garland guarding?
Nobody. He can't guard.
Clearly, because Derek White 25 in game 1. He had 7 3-pointers, 7 of 12 from 3.
It'd be nice to have a guard who can shoot. I don't know what that's like.
Darius Garland had 14 points. He only hit 2 3-pointers, but apparently didn't show up for any defensive, status unless Strus was guarding him, because maybe that might be the problem. Maybe he was guarding somebody else, but Strus only had 5 points, 1 of 5 from 3.
I'm not shocked.
Pritchard had 16 for Boston Celtics off the bench.
A backup point guard outscored my starting point guard. That's pathetic.
Yeah, he did.
That's bad.
So looking at it, Boston's deep. Boston's got length.
Yeah, we're not. We don't have depth. We don't have size. This was a bad series. I'm not going to be surprised if we get swept.
Jared Allen comes back. I think he goes 6.
Dude, it don't
I
matter.
think Jared Allen makes that big of a difference.
If we can't make shots,
yeah.
If we can't make shots, we're not going to win, dude. That's the thing. Like, you can't win if you can't make shots. And we can't make shots. The only person on our team that can make shots consistently has been 45. That's it. And he outscored everybody last night. The fact that he outscored everybody on both teams. No help. Because
he's got no way. Well, Niang had 4 points.
Ooh.
Those are from free throws. That wasn't even a freaking. He was 0-2 from the field.
Oh, shocker! He couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
Yeah, well, Drew Holiday had 14 for him.
Oh, hey, got the same as Garland. Nice.
Either way, I tell you, not looking good for Game 1. Hoping a better Game 2 for Cleveland.
I'm not. I'm expecting the same result because we can't shoot. We're bricklayers, except for Mitchell.
I'll get off Cleveland because I know you really don't want to talk about Cleveland.
No, I'm pretty.
Oklahoma City and the Dallas Mavericks, the final series of round 2 that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Game came on last night. Game 1 in Oklahoma City. You have the Mavericks. I got Oklahoma City winning this series. Kyrie Irving had 20. Luka had 19. Gafford had 16. Lively only had 2. I think it's Jalen Green. I'm pretty sure they have Jalen Green. No, Josh Green. Sorry. Josh Green for them had 11 off the bench. For Oklahoma City, Shed had 19, 7 rebounds. Jalen Williams had 18 points. And Shai had 29, with Jay Williams off the bench having 11 and Wiggins having 16. So Shai had something to prove last night when I watched it. Looking at that game, he come out there. He's a dog, and really right now, it's so incredible for me to think about Oklahoma City's success. Right over the years, like look at Sam Presti. Sam Presti. We look at GMs, some great GMs of all time, right? We got Jerry West has been a great GM. We have Jerry Krause for the Bulls, Bob Myers for the Golden State Warriors, and now we look at Sam Presti. Sam Presti might not have any championships, but he's had Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Kevin Durant, Serge Ibaka, Paul George,
Carmelo
Anthony, and SGA, and Chet Holmgren. Now think about that. Think about regardless of you winning the championships, how incredible you pretty much heisted the Clippers, got a bunch of picks from them, and you've rebuilt this roster. And Sam Presti is probably one of the best GMs in all of basketball because he keeps rebuilding these incredible teams for Oklahoma City. Now they got to get over the hump. That's a coaching issue. That's a coaching issue, and that's other parts of the organization. I'm not blaming Presti for that at all because to me, Presti's done his job, right?
He's giving you good players. Like he's giving you good players.
He's always doing so. For this series, I think, I hate to say it, there's not really many series that are going to go out of 6 or 7 games, really.
Yeah.
And you got Minnesota probably is going to hit 5 max, and maybe Cleveland might not make it. They might not make it past 5 games.
The way Game 1 went now, but you can't judge that by Game 1.
But everybody else.
If we lose Game 2, I would say Boston in 5.
But this series and the Knicks and Pacers series is definitely going 6 or 7, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I love what I see from Oklahoma City starting out. We know Luka and Kyrie are going to respond, though. They always do. They're going to respond.
Like we saw this in Clippers Game 1, right? Like, yeah, they got punched in the mouth, but you know, Luka and Kyrie are going to respond. So I expect Dallas to respond.
All right, on to NHL. On to the NHL scene.
Whoop-de-doo.
Last time we talked about the Lightning, getting blasted. We didn't get to finish up on our other series, though. The Predators and the Canucks. So after our episode was posted, the Predators actually won. We predicted them to lose, and they won. And then they go home and they lose. I thought they'd at least take this thing 7. I thought they'd go 7.
Well, here's the thing: if they wouldn't have blew Game 3 and won Game 4, they would have won.
Yeah.
And
they would have picked them to win, and Vancouver moved on.
But it's okay. Oilers are clapping them. Oilers won Western Conference Finals.
And then the Stars and the Golden Knights ran 7.
Yeah, I had Dallas in 7.
Yeah, so did I. And then Bruins and
Maple Leafs. I told you couldn't trust Toronto, buddy. I told you can't trust them. You can't. You
Yeah, but
can't.
I'll tell you that one thing though. That was an awesome 7-game series with losing Austin Matthews
Yeah.
in majority of those games. Like two games, at least game 5 and game 6, he was out.
Yeah.
And to lose him for majority of that series and still be able to pull back, right? And
Yeah,
almost made Boston lose consecutive 3-1 leads in
and
back-to-back
final
seasons.
overtime. And final
It
overtime.
was. I thought it was incredible. I thought when Austin Matthews went out, is done. You know what I mean? Especially Game 6. I thought Game 6 they're done.
Well, he won't be a Maple Leaf next year.
No, I don't think he will. But for the Maple Leafs to fight like they did,
Yeah.
to fight back, what a great series. I thought we thought it'd be a great series, and that's exactly what it was. It was a great series. And now moving on to the second round here. I mean,
the best.
We got,
all right, hold on before you say anything. The best second round matchup is Bruins and Panthers, and you can't tell me otherwise. This is gonna be it's kind of like Rocky. It's kind of like Rocky too.
I think there's 2 series.
This is gonna be my favorite. Florida beat them last year, round 1. Boston wants
They got
blood.
some beef. They got some beef, man.
Boston wants blood. And game 1, 5-1, Boston came out and said, "We're back. We're punching you in the face."
And which is surprising because they just came off Game 7, like against Toronto.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's why I think Boston wanted Game 7 more than Toronto, because Boston wanted a rematch between Florida. And Boston wants to bounce Florida out. They do not want to lose to Florida twice.
So who we going? 7-game series. If we're going to pick 6 or 7-game series, who we going?
Oh, Boston. I'm picking Boston. I don't see Boston losing to Florida again, especially the way they set the tone Game 1.
I gotta agree. I really do. I gotta agree with you. I agree with you on that one completely.
The Boston team that I saw in Game 1, 5-1, dominated.
They mean business. They mean
they
business, man.
They want to rip the heart out of Florida and eat it. Like they just want blood, and it's awesome to watch.
So we both got Boston. All right.
Yep.
By the time this episode comes out, I mean, it's good in the next couple days. Rangers and Hurricanes. Rangers just looked. I'm picking Rangers. It's easy, Rangers.
This is my whole thing about this series. Carolina's got to stay out of the box. The only reason why the Rangers are up 2-0 is because the Rangers are capitalizing on power plays and Carolina's not. That's the bottom line of this series. Carolina was up 3-2. They go to the box. The Rangers tie it. Carolina gives them the box in overtime, and the Rangers win it. Like, you got to stay out of the box. You cannot give this team power play opportunities, and that's why Carolina's losing, because they're not playing smart. And Carolina's not capitalizing on power plays, because at the third period, when it was tied 3-3, they could have went up in the game and won 4-3 in regulation. But they didn't capitalize on power play.
I thought, watching the game for Game 2, I thought the Canes were going to get it back, right? They're going to take it back, and the Rangers just took it from them. I mean, the Rangers took it easy from them.
I wouldn't say the Rangers took it from them. I'd say Carolina gave it to them because of the power play opportunities. That's why they won.
Yeah. And so then we got the Avalanche and the Stars. Nathan McKinnon, Dallas. Dallas had it. Dallas. Now we could say Dallas had an easy win. Dallas had an easy win.
Yeah, 3-0,
and they gave
3-0. And again, power plays.
It comes down to it's 3-2, right?
Yeah.
30 seconds left, and Nathan McKinnon saves the day, and takes this thing to overtime, and then Colorado wins it in overtime. I thought Avalanche would win Game 1.
If you take away the 2 power play goals that Colorado had, Dallas wins 3-2. That's the thing. That no one understands how important power plays are. And Colorado is the best team in the National Hockey League on power plays. Yeah. You cannot give up power plays in a crucial situation in the game. And that's what Dallas did. Dallas let them come back. Colorado, I don't care if they're down 3-0, 4-0. I told you this. There are 3 teams that I do not care how bad they are down. They will come back and win. Carolina, Colorado, and Edmonton. I've seen it.
That's Nathan McKinnon, man.
I do love
Second best
Nathan
player in the
McKinnon.
league.
Yes, he is. But you know who number 1 is?
Exactly who we're getting into right now, Connor McDavid. Get ready to face off against Vancouver. Should be Nashville, but I guess it's going to be Vancouver for this series. Should be Nashville.
Oh my god.
It bothers both of us because Connor McDavid's going to run over Vancouver.
They literally had this. That's the thing. They literally had the series. If they wouldn't have blown, it was 3-1 in the third period, and you blow it. You blow it. Like if you take away that game, dude, you win. You won. It was right there, and you give it away. But no, yeah. Let me tell you something. Connor McDavid. This is the Battle of Canada, and I'm not going against 97. I am a Connor McDavid fanboy through and through. I love this man.
Well, if Connor McDavid doesn't win in these playoffs, he's going to leave Edmonton.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would say he at least has to go to a conference finals. He at least has to make a conference finals for me to be like, okay,
he can't lose in this series. He can't lose in this series.
He might stay if they make the Western Conference Finals, but yeah, if he loses game 2, bye-bye. Or round 2, bye-bye. But no, well, I do expect Edmonton to beat Vancouver.
Overall, it's going to be a fun second series, man. It's going to be fun.
So the two best series in this is going to be Boston and Florida, and it's going to be Dallas and Colorado.
Yeah, easily, yeah. Well, Hunter, that is our playoffs of the week, man.
Oh,
second round starting.
This is funny. You'll laugh at this. So I know you don't watch NLL very much, but Toronto Rock, you know, I told you they're like just like you can't trust Toronto in any sport.
Yeah.
So three game series, right? The Rock's up 8-4. They lose the game 10-6. They cannot beat Buffalo, dude. They can't beat the Buffalo Bandits. They're going back to the NLL Finals, and they might win back to back.
Oh man,
I told
you, ridiculous, isn't it?
You can't trust Toronto sports, dog. You just can't.
Is that no kidding. You can't trust the Raptors either. They're horrible. I mean, the Raptors in that conversation as well. So, what's the good description for this episode this week? Don't trust Toronto sports. Don't watch them. Don't even be a fan. Might as well pick somewhere else.
I feel like being a Toronto fan is like being a Mountaineer fan. They just find ways to break your heart.
The Mountaineers, it comes to a point when you watch a Mountaineer game, especially a football game, where you're like, why did I have hope to begin with? I just knew they were going to lose. I knew they were going to lose before they got here. Like
that was me last year watching them play Penn State. I'm like, oh, what?
No. That was me. We went down to Oklahoma. And we were,
I did not think we were going to win that, dude. We got spanked.
I thought listen, I didn't think we were going to get blown out. Not after the couple of games we did before.
No. I called it. I said, we're going to get spanked. They're going to spank us. And they did. They kicked our butts, dude. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, man.
We got the Bears.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. And, man, been a fun episode. Been a good week.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck on the second rounds. Everybody, good luck on the second round. Hope your team wins. Hope you got your picks and you're ready to go. And we'll be back soon.
All you Boston fans, you're welcome in advance. That my boys can't shoot, so you take it.
OKC. Anyway, I hope you all have a good week, and we'll see you guys later.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in and following. Appreciate it.